So true story. At least 3 afternoons a week. A photo hits a buddy group chat that we have going on between my guest and two other dudes and myself. And we get a text message from my guest. And it's either he's at Hooters enjoying a drink at 3 in the afternoon, or he's on some dock, or he's on his patio with a cocktail or a beer and a cigar, and just, reminding us 9 to 5ers that he's taking her easy. He married his high school sweetheart, which is like a beautiful American story. Even more beautiful, they're still together, which is usually not the case when most people marry their high school sweethearts. He's probably one of the best dudes to have in your corner. He'll give you the shirt off his back. He's sweet as pie, but he will F you up if you get too close. But he's a rare breed of man, and I'm super duper, and I mean this, I'm super lucky to call you a friend. And welcome, Mitch Smith.
Well, thanks for having me, buddy. Cheers.
Yeah, I got a little choked up there.
Oh, you'll be okay.
Yeah. So I mean it. I have to ask what the first question is. Like, why you keep sending us these messages, bro, at like 2 in the afternoon? Are you trying to make us mad? Or are you just saying, hey, living is easy and easy is good? Or what's your message here, bud?
Well, my message is simple, and that's that I've done the work for the day, and now I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor, and I share it with my friends.
Well, you're not sharing it. We're just rubbing it in our face. Like, there's some of us that are still working our asses up. I say this out of jealousy, obviously, because I look at you, even though I own my own business, and there are definitely some perks to that. Like, I don't want to out myself to my wife who thinks I work, 8 to 6. Some days I do, but sometimes I'm done by the time I have to pick up kids, which is usually 3 o'clock.
Fair enough.
But I don't rub it in our buddies' noses and take pictures of me kicking it poolside or whatever, I want to get into, well, first of all, cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah. And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a new thing I'm doing. I just got some merch. I got you some swag. So all this over here is yours.
Oh,
all right. You're welcome. You're welcome to look at it if you'd like. You don't have to look at it if you don't want to. But it's a coaster. It's a koozie. Some stickers. I got you a new mug. You can
that's what I'm talking
You can
about.
put your beer in that.
Oh,
you can put your coffee in that. Right. And a couple of shirts. One of them I wore the other day. I thought you liked it.
I loved it.
You should hold that sucker up. Let's see
Let's
that.
see what we got.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, hold that one up. Let's see. And
so
I guessed your size was chubby petite. Yeah.
We'll take it. Yeah. I've been to Pasco. Born and bred, baby.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, so I want to talk about that, man. So there, Florida is a Mod Podge. I'm not from here. A lot of people aren't from here, born and raised, but you are born and raised, yeah?
Absolutely.
So tell me about that. So I'm gonna just from the beginning. Where were you born?
Newport Richey, Florida.
Right here in Newport Richey, Pasco County, baby. That's a perfect shirt for you.
That is. Absolutely. That's proud. That's pride right there. Absolutely. We'll take it.
So tell me. So you're born in Pasco?
Born in Pasco. Born in downtown Newport Richey.
True story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And how long?
Just about everywhere around this county, too.
Yeah. And you've never lived out of this state?
Never lived out of the state.
You've traveled a bunch. You guys travel a lot. We'll get there.
We do. I've never lived out of the county.
Really?
That's right.
Yeah. You say Pinellas and not Italian.
Because that's how you say it.
And that's how you know he's from Pasco. I love it. Yeah, so your mom and dad are also from Florida?
No, my mom's from Chicago.
Nice. Okay.
Yes.
When did she move? When did she make her way southern?
Probably, I don't know, probably she was in her teens, I'd say. Grandfather moved down here for work, and then they followed suit, right?
Yeah, what did your grandfather do for work?
He was worked for the sheriff's office his whole life.
Oh.
Started off in Chicago PD, and then Pasco, Tarpon, Pasco, Newport Richey.
Really?
Retired as a sheriff for Pasco. Yeah.
Got it. But in your mom,
sergeant, excuse me.
Yeah, no,
no sheriff. That'd be nice.
Yeah. But your mom didn't follow suit in the government thing, or your dad, I imagine.
No.
Because it was your mom's dad that moved down?
Correct.
Got it.
Yep.
And then your dad moved down too, or what's? Yeah, because you don't talk much about your dad.
No, mixed reviews on that one, buddy.
Okay, so do you not want to talk about dad?
It don't matter to me.
I'm just trying to.
Don't know much about it. We'll just put it that way.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So dad wasn't around.
Not too much.
Got it.
A little bit, not too much.
F him. He's missing out.
Not enough to make a difference.
Yeah, he's missing out on 3 p.m. beers by the pool, so he can eat it.
If I may go off script a little bit. Here.
Go ahead. There's no script.
I got you a little something.
You did. Is it my knife?
No.
Okay.
You go ahead and in true Pasco fashion and or what we discussed, you giving me a little bit of grief for, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little something to
Oh,
partake.
nice. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Very, very cool. All right, so this is a Padron.
It's a Padron 3000.
Yeah, is that good? I'm not a
Oh, it's
cigar.
fantastic.
Yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
is
one of
that
the
real
best.
Gator?
Take a look at
Let
it.
me see that.
Yeah.
You carry that around. That was in your
Carry it
pocket.
around for-
Your jeans are usually skinnier than mine, dude. Dude, that's really nice, man.
Yeah.
And this is a cutter.
Listen,
yeah,
if
it's a
you're
clipper
listen,
or whatever.
you got to remember Florida, even the Tampa area,
smells nice, too.
Ybor, they were the largest cigar manufacturer in I believe it was the world for the longest time. Everybody came over here and started distributing their stuff. So, I mean, if you're from, around the area,
I
9 times out of
appreciate
10.
this. I don't smoke cigars. You offered me one the other last week when we were hanging out. I appreciate the offer.
It's also a
I
gesture.
promise you when I smoke this, I will enjoy it with you.
You will.
I will.
And it is it's a gesture,
Yeah. Hey,
Having
listen,
me on
I'll
the
take
show, a little nice something,
Hey, I'll take it. You're a classy broad.
I do what I can. I do what I can.
So okay, so dad sucks. Mom moves down here. You, your brother, your sister. There's the three of you, right?
Mhm.
All
My cousin also, Barb.
Barb.
Yep, she's around. She's one of the gang.
But was she? She's been around since the beginning when you guys were kids, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah,
She's been
got
around
it.
the whole time. Might
And
as well be a sister.
She's your mom's
Sister's
daughter.
Right.
Got it. And so you have these tremendous get-togethers where everyone and their literally and their brother
Oh, yes.
shows up, and it's quite a mix of people. And being somebody who's not from Pasco, B, doesn't really listen to country music, C, doesn't own a pair of boots, comes to hang out with you guys. And the first time I was like, I don't fit in. But what I realized is that you guys are all from your brother to your sister to your uncle, who makes them bomb ass chicken.
Yes, he does.
You guys are all just like fucking salty or sweet as pie people.
Well, thanks, buddy.
Yeah. So thank you. No, thanks for bringing me in. When I met Pam, when we started dating, what was that, like 9+ years ago? Yeah, you just don't know, because you guys, I worked with Mary, I worked with Chase at Carrabba's or whatever, and you don't really know. It's hard to break into a friend group sometimes, especially when like there's not the only commonality we had was we worked at Carrabba's. I worked at Carrabba's with your wife, and I was dating like a friend of the group.
Right, but one thing you got to understand too is if you're part of the group, you're part of the group. Right?
Right.
Like
sure.
your point. If you come over to my house and someone that's part of our group says, "Okay, this guy's cool," then that's it. Now, luckily enough, you stayed around long enough to where that's it. Now you're family, right?
You realize that I was cool.
And the other part too is you come over to my house with an expectation of maybe I don't fit in, but the idea that we try to have is everybody does. That's why you notice everybody brings what they got. Everybody, if you ain't got no money, come over and eat.
All walks. Yeah.
If you ain't got no beer, come over and drink. It doesn't
exactly.
matter.
Yeah,
We got it for you.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I mean?
No, hospitality, Southern hospitality at its finest, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you and Mary definitely do a good job there.
We try our best.
So talk to me. The first thing I want to say. So you and your brother and your sister and Barb, you're growing up. You went to high school here. After high school, did you go? You didn't go to college, did you?
I took one community college class before going to the academy.
Okay.
And that was it.
What was the class then?
And I realized it was a class at PHCC, now PHSC, and it was a organizational behavior class. And
Okay.
at the time, I didn't really know what it was. It was to get my feet wet in school. Ended up not doing too good in that class. Took it again.
I don't even know what organizational behavior is.
Right, neither
dude.
did I. That's when I realized that school wasn't for me,
Sure.
and that's fine.
Well, maybe that class wasn't for you.
That could be the class. It
Yeah.
could have been, the
I'm
whole
gonna look that up.
experience.
What the hell is
Organizational behavior.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was how to be organized. I ended up taking the class twice because I failed it the first time, and it was some
Probably because you lacked organization.
absolutely. And
Organizational
Yeah.
behavior class. Let's see what this is.
Let's take a look.
AI saying, hold on, let me make sure I got this right. Explores how individuals and groups act within an organization, analyzing factors like communication, motivation, and leadership to improve workplace dynamics and performance. Okay.
Sounds about right.
So now, as it, you 40? Yeah.
No,
How old are you?
37.
37.
It's hard to say.
I always forget I'm the old one. So, but 37's there. You own your own business. We're grown ups, right? We're adults. We're dads. We're husbands.
All the things.
Communication's key.
Agreed.
Have to have it,
Gotta have
right?
it.
Motivation. You own your own business if you're not motivated.
I've never been short on motivation.
Yeah, motivation, leadership. You don't have a crew yet, and we'll get there. But you've dabbled
We've been
with
on
crews,
and off, right?
but
Yeah.
you also worked at Lexus. We'll get there too,
Yeah.
and so you've managed crews. So
Absolutely.
so leadership skills are important, and workplace dynamics, right? So it maybe it was the wrong season because that was the same thing for me. I didn't go to college either. I dabbled. I think I did. I was like half a semester short of my associates, I think.
Okay.
So that's what, a year and a half ish, give or take. And I was like, nah, fuck this. I just want to go play music and smoke weed and party.
But at the time, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Well,
That's what. Well, I guess
depends on it.
In
Perspective.
retrospect, yeah.
Depends on who you ask. You asked my mom, she wasn't too happy
No, I
about it. But
bet.
all right, so
Can't get on that devil's lettuce too early.
yeah, well, sweet. Hey man, I just you got it was all part of the culture, right? I belong to a culture. It's like saying I attribute to like going to the rodeo, right? You get the hat, the boots, the pants. There's a buckle.
Mm-hmm.
There's horses.
You got to earn the buckle.
Right, but my point is that when you're in an environment, you could go to a rodeo dressed like I'm dressed right now, but you partake and then you end up with all this stuff on.
Well, once again, that type of crew and that type of environment, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah,
That's
that is
the
very
idea,
true.
right?
That's very, very true. I think there's a huge misconception about like, I'm just going to say the R word, rednecks, and being racist or being like, they want to sleep with their sisters or whatever. And there's all these stereotypes and shit. And a lot of them are funny, and I think most stereotypes exist, at least from my perspective, because they're funny. Some of them can be hurtful, but I don't take stereotypes as hurtful. I think they're funny. But of course, there's not a whole lot of stereotypes against Italians. Well, I guess there's some, but nobody says them to my face.
The interesting part about living in Florida, right, is you got all walks of life. I mean, Florida is a melting pot of everybody, and that's part of the reason why you got to kind of just find out who you are eventually, right?
Yeah.
Whether that be a country living on the beach, down in in a city, whatever it may be. There's all of it here. I mean, you got
options.
My sister lives over in Orlando. She loves it there. I mean, it's not for me, but she loves it. It's literally anything that you want to fit into is here for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I love going to the beach. I love, sitting out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all the same to me. Out in nature's all.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think, and you guys definitely did that. You definitely found a spot, picked a spot, building it up, fixing her up, making her look gorgeous. A little bit out there in the sticks where you're on well water.
Yeah, just enough out, right?
Yeah, not too far. Yeah,
Not too far, just enough.
How long did it take you to get here? 30 minutes?
Yeah, not even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad. So just far enough. It's not like Eddie, who like.
No,
It's
Eddie
a
pushed it a
different
little
time zone.
further, right? Yeah,
It's like a different time
Eddie
zone
pushed it a little
there.
further, but for a reason, right? He
Yeah.
wanted a little bit more space. He wanted a little bit more. He needed a little bit more reason to have the
Sure.
room that he has, right?
Sure, yeah, because he's got the farm and he's got the pigs and he's got he wanted that. He wanted that life.
Sure, and I feel like a lot of people are leaning towards that lifestyle a little bit lately,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Just the way the world is and the way the economics are. The problem is, and you see it and I see it, especially where we live. In particular, you kind of already dealt with it down there, but it is growing so fast and so big that things like that aren't really going to be available unless you're going to pay top dollar for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Or like Eddie. So Eddie went up there early. He got a bunch of land.
right.
As long as he doesn't sell, he has that land, right?
Exactly,
And he's
right.
on what? Like how
He's
many?
4.5.
4.5 acres. Which if you don't, being from the city. So I was born in Southern California. Being from the city, they don't teach acres, right? Everybody lives and you live in a neighborhood or in the suburbs
Sure.
or whatever. So to your point though, is that when you're in Florida, if you have the cheddar, or depending on where you pick, it's sounding like the further north we go. Like this whole area was like nothing,
Sure, yeah.
and you
when I
can
was
get a
growing-
bunch of acreage and shit.
Yep.
And now it's just like bang, now we got a first watch, man.
I know.
That's how you know things are booming.
It's getting crazy.
And
around
there's
here.
a Jersey Mike's. My point is that if you want more land, you got to go north, and you got to be willing to pay for it.
You do. Anywhere you got to stretch out from the city a little bit, right? That's how it's always been. That's how
Yeah.
it always is. Everyone keeps creeping in. When the jobs are in the city, people are going to look to those outskirts or the suburbs, and then you got to just keep creeping north or east,
Yeah.
wherever it's at. And even east, they're getting filled up over there.
And you guys, what's your property? Is an acre?
About acre and a half.
Acre
so
and a bit.
nothing crazy, just
No,
enough
it's
room
d-
to.
An acre and a half's plenty when you consider that you could put 5 regular houses on it.
We could, and we're fortunate enough, and that's the other thing too is we've lived that way for so long, and we've talked about going back and forth and maybe coming down this way just because there's a little bit more to do and stuff like that. But I mean, to have the property, driving a few minutes ain't really a big deal. To be able to, when you get home, you got your space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So when you say space, what's the biggest appeal for you? And I'm sure it's different for everybody, but like what for you and Mare, what are the biggest benefits of living where you live?
Oh, the biggest benefits?
Yeah.
We like to tinker on stuff all the time, right? So we
Yeah, you
are
do.
big into trying to see how far we can push our limits on what we can do with something that may not be in the best shape, or you know what I mean, or add stuff to our property to really, and it's not really always for us. We
Sure.
host a ton and
Yeah,
we
you
love
do.
it.
Yeah.
And we absolutely we love it. And that's if we were able to move to a neighborhood or something like that, that would be a struggle, because I mean we've had 70 people, 60, 70 people at our house.
Sure. You
on
could
any given
throw a
time.
very sizable and respectable wedding on your property.
Sure.
100%.
Sure. And the nice part about our property is it's small enough that way it's it's like a park like setting, but it's not so big to where it's just it's so much to manage.
You need a side by side.
Right. Yeah.
I know,
you know
like
what I mean?
God bless Eddie and Kayla,
Oh,
dude.
I
Like,
know.
geez.
There's
And they
something
still
about
and they still make it out to do shit, which is awesome. So he works his ass off. She works her ass off. She's got a side gig. He's got a side gig. Then they got the property and all those farm animals.
and that's another job in itself.
That's its
Sure.
own life.
Yep. They
right?
are.
And they still make
full
it
tilt.
to anytime there's a birthday party,
Yep.
right? Or anytime there's a
See 'em
Sunday
thi- we'll
hangs.
see 'em this weekend.
We're gonna see them this weekend,
Yep.
right? Like they're just good. Just y'all are fucking
because they put
salt
in
of
the,
the earth,
well they
man.
put in the effort to do it, right? Same Eddie, same thing. It's from Holiday, right? We
Yeah.
all grew up the same kind of way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we're fortunate enough. So we grew up in those, I'm going to say, less than middle class areas, right? And then now we're able and blessed enough to be able to afford stuff like this.
Sure.
And not and like I said, we bought when it was a great market. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now I don't know if there's any way we'd be able to touch what we have now.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so we're blessed enough to be able to buy at the right time and settle
Yeah, the
in at the right
circumstances
time.
were good, and but
Sure.
you planned for it and you had a heart for it because
Oh,
you're
we
old.
did.
You're when I first met you, and I didn't even meet you. I was just outside your house dropping off your drunk wife. We'll talk about that.
Oh,
The
yeah, that was
second-
a fun night.
Yeah, it was the first time I heard about you. I was like, oh boy.
I was in the police
Oh,
academy.
but
We had
yeah.
a test the next day. That was fun.
Yeah. Is that why you're not in anymore? Was that night? huh?
Yeah,
Is
it might have
Mary's
been that
fault? Yeah.
night. Shoot.
So yeah, but you guys were a little bit closer to where the studio is, and then you went further. You pushed further north. In that
Right.
house, if I remember, it had like and I don't want to mess it up. It was an interesting pool. It was like a PVC pool,
Yeah, it was just like a vinyl pool.
but it was in the ground. It
Yeah.
wasn't like an above ground vinyl.
Correct. Or not vinyl, excuse me. It was fiberglass.
Fiberglass.
It was a fiberglass, yeah, drop-in fiberglass
Yeah,
pool.
I had never seen one of those.
Yeah,
before.
you ever seen that? You ever drive by like a Mr. Pool or any of those like pool stores, and they got the big pool on the side? and it
Yeah, yeah,
says-
yeah.
That's that type of pool.
And so it's just like a drop in.
Yep. And then they
Yeah.
build around it.
Interesting. Yeah, it was a nice pool. That was the first time I met you.
Yeah, that was
First
an
time we
interesting.
hung out, and you showed me your wicked CD collection.
Oh heck yeah! Listen, don't hate on the CD
Real quick,
collection.
I'm not hating on it because, dude, when the grid goes down, right,
Hey, we're gonna have
Mitch-
tunes.
Mitch's got a. If you guys probably remember, or at least you did if you remember the CD generation. He's got one of those really respectable, thick ass. It's like this big, that thick. Every CD you've ever owned.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Me and my brother started that.
Yeah.
Man, when we were little, we
Yeah.
started. I mean, we have VHSs that we would record like CMA awards and things like that on that we would watch. I mean, we didn't grow up in the lap of luxury, you know what I mean? So
Sure.
we had to make do. You know,
Yeah.
that's also why we learned a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
love you still hold on to it. Like you still have that.
that is one of my pride and joys of my life is that CD collection.
Dude,
and
it's a very
growing.
respectable.
It keeps growing.
You're still buying CDs?
Heck yeah, I'm buying CDs. You
Get
can't,
outta
can't play them in the truck now because they don't have a CD player,
You
which
can't
is a shame. We need to bring that back.
Yeah. So both of my cars still. Well, yeah, you're right on the new ones. Both of my cars are 2018s. They still have a CD
Do
player.
they have a CD player?
Still have a CD
Yeah.
player.
So the
yeah.
one I just bought, it does not, and that is very disappointing. But
Yeah.
I did upgrade to some, not Spotify, but Apple Music.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it for the gym.
Yeah.
I love it while I'm working.
Yeah.
You know, just it's
Welcome
amazing.
to the future.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing. I know it sounds ridiculous, right? But it's amazing from where we came from, where you just kind of had to listen to what was. You'd go through, on your anti-skip CD player. And now
Yeah,
you just push a button, you get whatever you want.
and
You know?
So it's funny you say that because when we go on vacation and we stay on Disney property or wherever we're staying, and you're just stuck with whatever's on TV.
Sure.
You know, so after we come back from the pool, you eat some snacks, you throw on the TV. There's commercials, and my kids are always like, "Well, the show's not playing."
Oh, they lose it.
Yeah,
They lose
they're
it.
just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What is this?
What
And
happened?
it's
It's
like,
broken. That's
yeah,
what I hear.
guys,
It's broken.
This is how it used to be.
Yep,
Just
I know.
be-
It's
yeah.
it's amazing.
This
And
is how it used to be, guys.
Oh.
Don't worry.
that
Which-
was good. That watch maybe a couple commercials wasn't a big deal.
I
You know,
think-
you didn't, at least you didn't have to get up and change the channel.
I think that it was good. I think the break.
Yeah.
Everything is so right now, this second, today, Amazon, music.
Everything.
You don't have to listen to commercials anymore. Like, I don't know who listens to the radio. I know there's still, like, I got buddies that still work at the Bone, so I know it's still a thing, you know, but it's like, who's listening to this shit? You are?
I'll listen to the radio.
Do you?
It's my preferred way of while I'm working. I can yeah, absolutely. I'll
Really?
listen to- yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
You know why? Because there's a human element to it that I still love, right? And that's what the radio does. It adds a little, human element to it. It adds, somebody talking, maybe
Yeah,
something
but that's what
pops up
this
through
is
the day.
the new radio. This is the new sitcom. This is the new TV show.
Right,
is
which
YouTube.
is great in its own respect, right?
Sure.
Especially if you have a specific thing in mind that you hone in on, and that's what you like, and that's what you want to listen to. By all means, some days I'm just like, no, I don't know what I'm feeling today, so I'll just pop the radio on and then just listen to whatever's out there. You know what I mean?
That's how you find out about new music.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, and Creed's got a new album out, man.
Yeah.
Shit,
Oh man.
shit's titties.
Jeez.
God, it's titties.
Man.
Tell me about. Okay, so you try to go to college. You took like women's studies or whatever the fuck you end up taking.
Yeah. No, hey, that's not a bad class to
Not
take
for you.
either. No.
No, I'd love to take that class right now. So you take school's not for you. So you go. You mentioned the academy.
Yeah. So I go. I'm working a job. Go to the police academy.
And
Go
where were
through
you
the-
working at the time?
I was working at the Leaning Tower of Pizza in downtown Newport Richie,
Right.
delivering pizza. By the
What-
way, one of the best jobs I ever had.
Oh, dude.
One of the
Cheers to
best
that.
jobs.
So
Cheers.
I ran a West Shore Pizza. I'll take it back. I managed a West Shore Pizza in Palm Harbor for like, I don't know, 3 years. Best job, one of the best jobs I ever had. Carrabba's is still the best job I've ever had outside of owning my own business.
Sure.
Dude, yeah, pizza places is the shit.
But look at all the people you've met and the networking you've made and just the friends that you've made. Look, prime example of working in a restaurant or working in some type of service industry like that. And
Yeah,
I think
lifelong friends.
it should be I think I've heard this before. There should be a stipulation in this country.
Like
to-
mandatory.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
got to go work yourself in a restaurant somewhere, and then you really know how the other side is.
Yeah.
All those people not tipping the way they should,
Or maybe the sense of urgency. It teaches so many things. It teaches time management, grace under pressure,
Oh, yeah.
stress management, teamwork for sure, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like bartender, busser, like the cooks. It's all fucking team.
Sure.
Hustle and bustle. One thing I said to Vince when Vince was on the show, the greatest thing I got out of working in like a high paced, busy fucking restaurant was when it got fucking busy, like in the weeds busy, Mitch. It wasn't forever.
Right. Good
And
life lesson.
It gave me that perspective is that because we all go through seasons in life, right? Where things are highest of highs, sometimes really like sometimes you have that feeling where it's like, oh, I didn't know rock bottom had a basement, and it just keeps going down. Sometimes it's like that, right?
Sure.
For some people. And so while that might seem like a stretch for some people, what I've carried that with me my entire life is to know that like, yo, it's hectic now, but this isn't forever. It's crazy right now, but this isn't permanent. This too shall pass. Right?
This too shall pass.
This too shall pass.
And also,
You know?
it provides you an opportunity to see exactly what you can do and push yourself
Test your
beyond
mettle.
what-
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And that goes for every job, every aspect in your life. See how far you can take it, right?
Yeah.
And you can take it a lot further than you think.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
Oh for sure.
Every time.
Don't disagree.
No.
All right. So okay. So school not your thing. Going to the academy. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so went to the academy.
And
That's how I met Eddie.
Where is the academy?
It was in Dade City. And it was there
And
for a
that's
long
the
time. I believe
academy
it's
for
still there.
all of Florida?
No, so there's different academies. So this is for Pasco. Well, I mean, so there's academies you go to, and then there's a state certification. So where you become certifiable, right? So you pass all your tests, pass your state tests, all that stuff.
Sure.
And then you go and you try to get hired on somewhere, right? So then you do your FTO stuff, and then you get hired on. So I got hired on in Pasco. Very first opportunity presented itself. It was good. Life wasn't for me, right? I wanted to. I don't know. One way to put it, I guess, is it's not what you think it was going to be for me, right? And then so
So if you don't mind me probing,
Yeah, dude, go for it.
what did you think it was going to be? Grab a beer.
Yeah.
This is beer talk.
I like it.
We're getting into beer
We're
talk.
gonna run out, my man.
Beer talk 2020. No, we don't run out here. There's a whole nother 12
That's why
pack
I'm here.
underneath.
That's why I'm
There's
here.
a bunch in the
No,
fridge in the office or in the
No,
kitchen.
so and you got to remember. So here's the thing too. You got to remember through high school, right? You brought this up earlier. I've had one woman with me the entire time, right? Super grateful for her. So we make decisions together. This is a decision that I kind of made myself, and so case in point, went to the academy, got hired in Pasco, left Pasco, realized it wasn't really the job that I wanted to do. Went and worked back at the pizza restaurant, got hired on in Newport Richey. Kind of gave it a second go around just to make sure that my heart wasn't in it as much as I thought it was, right? Does that make sense? And I'm also young, right?
Sure,
so,
sure.
So
Yeah, how old are you when this is going down?
yeah, so I was, I think I was 23 or 24.
Okay, yeah, you're baby.
Yeah, right. So I wasn't
Just-
sure, and part of it too is that, it's kind of it's not to sound like cliche. It's a big boy job, right?
Yeah,
And I didn't know if my mind was right for it at the time, right?
right.
And
No,
then
dude, I appreciate that.
yeah, so
Yeah, it's
a lot
it's
of growing in that time.
well,
right?
it's about as serious a job as you can get.
Correct. And the
Right?
good aspects of the job when I for the short
Maybe
period of
that
time.
outside of the military. You
Yeah,
know?
of course, yeah. Respect to all those
Or
guys
like-
for sure.
But I guess what I'm saying is there's a bunch of big boy jobs. That one for me, domestically speaking, it's a hefty. It's heavy lies the badge, right?
Sure.
The shit
yeah,
you guys see,
absolutely.
the types of people you have to deal with, both good and bad. A friend of mine said on literally the first episode I did of the podcast, who comes from his dad was a cop, grandpa was a cop, uncle was a cop, like a long line of police in the family, said that like you're seeing people on their worst days. You're the first person that they see on sometimes their worst day of their lives. Missing kid, somebody died, car accident. Think
Correct.
of the hundreds of fucking reasons people call the cops.
Sure.
Not a good day usually.
Right.
It's not like when we were kids. It was like a cat stuck in the tree. You call the fire department, right? Like it's not all sunshine
Sure.
and rainbows. It's people's worst day, and I think we as civilians, we forget that.
So it's both, right? So it's people's worst day, and it can also be a blessing for a lot of people, right? So
Yeah, for sure.
right, so there's the
very
good
fair.
when it's really good, it's really good, right? You're helping someone, you're saving someone, you are getting somebody out of a situation that nobody else is going to be able to get them out of, right?
Sure.
So those are the good parts of it. You know what I mean? The bad parts, like you said, are really bad, right? So there's definitely a balance. But for me, it was more of a lifestyle. If that makes sense? It wasn't necessarily
Kind of.
the job, because the job, I enjoyed the job for as short a time as I did it for both different agencies. I enjoyed the job. It wasn't going to provide and it's quite simple. It wasn't going to provide the lifestyle that I wanted to live, and that's really it.
Which is what?
According to you, having cigars on the porch at
You want-
1:30 with a beer.
Mitch had a vision. Yeah, you know what? Well, with that, my man, at 23 years old, good for you that you saw something bigger for yourself. Okay, so that pivots us. So then you go back to the pizza factory. You go, not pizza factory. You go back to Leaning. What was it called?
Leaning Tower Pizza in
Leaning
downtown
Tower
Newport
Pizza.
Richey.
Yeah, Leaning
Right.
Tower Piazza.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a whirl again. I go get hired on at Newport Richey.
Oh, so I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
you go back to PD.
Go back to So
Okay.
I started off there, went back to PD. That's when it really clicked that this life's not for me. And that's and they talk you about it and all these things, And I got I used to be a little bit embarrassed by it back in the,
sure,
what I mean?
I imagine. Well, because it's for reference to those who don't know, Chase and Eddie, who were on previous episodes, cops, we're all buddies. So we
Right.
got a lot of
A lot of
law enforcement
tons of
friends, a lot of law enforcement families.
Oh yeah, we're in
like we're in it, right?
We're neck deep in it.
Yeah, they're definitely friends.
Sure,
right?
absolutely.
So I
They're
could imagine.
family.
Yeah, so I could imagine there's like, maybe embarrassed, maybe and I know we give you a ton of shit. We give each other a bunch of shit because we're more like brothers that way.
Right.
But to be real, like I have no business giving you police shit because I'm not a police officer. Like I'll let the
Right.
police buddies
Sure.
give you police
Yeah,
shit.
they can.
I can't give you police
Absolutely,
shit. I'll
they
just
can.
give you regular human
Well,
shit.
I was also the first one in the group like to go through the police camp. Like me and Eddie, like Eddie, we kind of came on later when we were going through the school and stuff like that. I had known of Eddie and met him through some mutual people, but then we really became friends in the academy. And then obviously Chase was around, you know what I mean. And then he made his go at it, and I'm super grateful for them. Right? They're doing it. They're neck deep in it. It's wonderful for them. Right?
Yeah.
They made a career out of it. I just decided it wasn't going to be the
That
route
wasn't
that
your
I wanted
shit.
to take.
That
Yeah.
wasn't your shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so
Not that I
then
wouldn't, help out when needed or throw down when we have to.
Yeah.
It's just every day wasn't, it's what I didn't really envision for the way I wanted
Yeah.
the life to go. You know what I mean? And like I said, me and Mary, we have these conversations, together, right? So we're
Sure.
we're like this through,
in
from,
communication. See, you did pick up something from that
picked
communication.
up a little something,
course
you know what I
that you
mean?
took.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, you definitely have to be in line with your spouse for sure. I don't know how they do it. When the response that I got from Eddie was Kayla also comes from police background.
Yeah.
So she's about that life, so to speak.
She
Like
can
she's
understand
familiar
it,
with
right?
it.
She
Yeah.
gets it, right? There's
Whereas-
good days and bad days
Sure.
with it. Yeah.
Whereas I could imagine someone like me or Pam or somebody from my family who we don't have. You are my only friends in all of my family, to the best of my knowledge, that are law enforcement. There's like a
You're
hair
right
on my
there?
hat. No, there's like a hair on my hat. It's irritating.
Well, my grandfather too, right? He was in it for his entire career.
yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's a good role model to base my decisions off of. I just
Right.
realized that wasn't my personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not,
And I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I was like, iffy, did I make the right decision?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But now I'm like, yeah, I think I did.
Well, no, that's good because, dude, I think there's a lot of stories about men and women that are in positions of authority, whether it's law enforcement or military, whatever, that shouldn't fucking be, right?
Right.
There's a lot of evidence of that. And so good on you that you realized, this ain't my shit. I'm going to get out.
Yeah.
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 Cra-
And it's
yeah.
as simple as that. It's not the life I wanted to live, and that's it.
So you go back to pizza, and then what happens?
I went to Newport Richie, then back to,
Wait,
okay,
how many?
so
No,
during
no.
this time,
So you went police, pizza, police.
correct.
Back to pizza.
No, mechanic.
Okay, that's what
So
I'm saying.
then I went
okay.
so then I went to, man, that's a long list.
That's all right.
Then I went to tech school for mechanics, got
Okay.
hired on Lexus Clearwater down south, worked there for a long time.
Yeah.
Ended up running the used car department with Mary's uncle. Mary's my wife,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
And so I did that for 7 years, and then wasn't really going anywhere, right? I
Yeah.
kind of hit the plateau of what I was willing to do. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Sure.
I really kind of went as far as I could, and not to mention it was one hell of a drive down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Mary's brother called me one day, and he's like, "Hey, let's talk about the pool industry."
Okay.
And I'm like, "Okay, well, not really seeing too much going on here. I kind of put my time in here, and let's just see." I've never been one to turn down a conversation about a potential door
Opportunity.
opening,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
For opportunity,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. We end up having a great conversation. Year goes by.
So hold on, pause. So Mary's brother is already in the pool business at this point? Oh no. So
No.
he's just chatting about, hey dude,
We're chatting it up, talking.
what if
about-
we did this?
Right.
Got
Right.
it, okay.
So he's like, hey, would you be, if I get this thing started, would you come on board and run the show for me? And it was an opportunity I couldn't turn down. So I
Right.
was like, you know what? What do they say? Comfort's the enemy of progress, right?
Somebody said it.
Yeah.
First
so
time I'm hearing it, but it sounds good.
Somebody said it,
Somebody
right?
must have said it.
Well,
you said it.
I said I'll take it. So I said, you know what? Why not?
Mhm.
Let's give it a shot. Why not? We got our house figured out. We got all this figured out. So he presented me with this opportunity to, be the general manager of this pool company we were starting. was going great, went great, fantastic, getting into the business, getting certified, all that good stuff. And we just started rocking and rolling. And then at some point, probably it was about 2 years later, I'm like, you know what? Not in a bad way. I think I can do this.
Yeah.
And I said, nothing wrong with taking 100% of your profit that you're of some of the work that you're doing. You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people they got no problem working just working for somebody. And I was like, I think I do a little more than this.
Right.
And obviously with my wife's backing, we pulled the trigger and started our own company.
So yeah, that's that. There's that organizational behavior class that you didn't pass that you had
Yeah.
to take twice. There's that setting it again.
Yeah.
Some people need a boss. Some people are natural bosses or leaders, right? And it sounds like you're that. You're working for, again, family, and that's tough too, mixing business with pleasure, so to speak. Like working with your family, the dynamics can, not always, but can get shifty or
It can get messy,
difficult.
right?
Yeah, difficult.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
and that's part of growing in a business too, right? You don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you got to kind of take the hits with the good stuff. And so yeah, so when we started our own business, it was not in a negative way or anything like that. I was just said, hey, you know what? I can do this. I've never been a person that needs a motivational speaker. I've been a pretty self-motivated person, right? And I don't mean that in a cocky way or anything like that, but I'm like, you know what? Why not try it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Bet on yourself.
bet on yourself. Bet on the opportunities that present itself too, right?
Sure.
Don't ever not walk through an open door just because you're scared to walk through the door.
Sure. Age, yeah, I hear you. And I agree. Age did that for me, man. It was like, but I always kind of had it in me. When I was in the band, I kind of had like the leader kind of mentality. I definitely had the ego. That's the bad part about being a leader, is there comes a lot of, like, you have to remind yourself to stay humble.
Manage your ego. Manage your own ego,
you got
right?
to manage your ego for
Yep.
sure. But now, again, as a grown-up, because that's what I am, I'm a grown-up now.
I think you're doing all right. Look at this room.
Yeah, dude. Thank you,
Right?
brother. Yeah. Well, and I think, yeah, that's the point. Is I think that, for I have a lot of buddies that are infinitely talented, just like you and me,
Oh,
like
thank you.
that are scared, or they have there was a movie back in the 90s with Billy Crystal called Mr. Saturday Night.
I don't know if I've
Very
seen
funny.
it. Okay.
If you like Billy Crystal. But the gist of it was, like, he used to do this routine. He was a comedian. He used to do this routine with his brother in the living room, and it was a duo. And then he becomes a solo act. And he says later on in life, they're like, in late age or in the 80s, and he's arguing with his brother. And he goes, "You had living room balls. You didn't have big time balls." Because it's a giant leap of faith, and it's terrifying because it's all on you, right?
100%.
And so I can see where, I can see the reluctance in people where it's like, shit, dude, like, what if I don't get any business? So, I mean, that's kind of what I want to talk to you about, is like the business of it. So
Yeah,
first
let's
off,
get into it.
let's talk about the first, what was the first pool, your first nasty fucking like swampy pool. You ever see a gator in one of those things or anything?
No, but there's some turtles in there. There's all kinds of.
So what do you
crap
do
here.
in
We
a
live
situation? Do
Florida.
you drain it completely?
Yeah, so there's a couple different business models, right? So there's different licensing, like, of course, for everything, right? We stick to basically just the service side of it, right? Now, my brother-in-law, obviously, he is branching out and doing bigger things, different licensing, stuff like that, right? So I decided that I'm going to stick kind of with what I know and
Sure.
try to, right? There's some comfort in it, like we talked about earlier. There's some comfort in sticking with what I think works for me. So there are different company models, right? And a couple of them are like maintenance. Some of them are just service. Some of them cover a broad spectrum of things, right?
Yeah, some of them are building, I'm sure.
Right, and building is a huge one. Remodeling, there's all different licenses for everything, right? And they're all,
Sure.
Take whatever it takes to get those licenses, right?
Sure.
So first time coming across anything that while we were building our business, I would say that we encountered was just, like I said, not knowing what we don't know in the sense of how to overcome certain things. And some things are not overcomable. We get storms in all the time. Seawater gets into the pools. People let their stuff go because they're not here. Or a family member passes away.
Or it's a financial investment, man. It's expensive to have a pool, man.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
No, and so as far as pools that are nasty and all that good stuff, we've figured out methods and ways to overcome that stuff, right?
Sure.
And it's it's obviously not cheap because all that stuff comes at an expense, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And all the chemicals and all the labor costs and all the stuff that software costs and things like that are definitely squeezing you a little bit. But so you just gotta kind of find your niche in the business and figure out what works for you and just go from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
let's rewind a little bit. So,
Yeah.
okay, so you're with your brother-in-law.
Uh-huh.
You realize that, hey, dude, I'm doing a lot of this work.
not in a bad way. That's what we signed up for.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. No, you're
Yeah.
not complaining, but you just
Right.
you're seeing like, hey, dude, I'm doing all this work, right? I could do this myself. I'm gonna do this myself. And so you talk to Mary because obviously it's her uncle, business pleasure, weird.
Sure.
You got to make sure your exit isn't offensive,
I'm
or you
never
don't
gonna-
burn a bridge or whatever, right? And so you start Southern Sun Pool Care.
That's right.
That's the official LLC.
Right.
Yeah.
Boom.
But on your website, it's just Southern Sun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or not. You don't even have a website, I realize. You just have a Facebook.
Not really. Just a Facebook page.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is amazing that you've done so well with just a
Find something that
Facebook page.
works and stick with it, right?
Dude, that's incredible. Again, this guy's incredibly successful Facebook page. No ads. You don't run any advertising.
No.
It's all referral or
It's
word
all
of mouth.
referrals, word of mouth,
Yeah.
old school way,
Yeah,
right?
dude. Shit.
I'm
dude.
an old school kind of guy,
Yeah.
old soul, right?
You've never made a flyer or a brochure or nothing.
Never. I got a couple business cards. That's it. It's word of mouth, and people tell me I got a great reputation.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we have a great network of friends and people that live in different areas, right? So, like, Chase's wife, and stuff like that.
Yeah, cheerleaders, man. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you need that. Any small business, the more your name gets out there in a positive way, the more success you're going to have.
Sure.
Now, being the owner, right, face of the company, you got to be out there too. People want to see you, want to know that you're invested in your own company. No one's going to do the work that you're going to do, right? So, employees and stuff like that, you're going to send them out. They're going to do 70, 80% of the work. People want to know that you're paying attention to what they're doing.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Any service industry and stuff like that, they want to know that you're in the game too. You know what I mean?
Hey, you give a shit.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
you care. And we do. And we want to grow and be as successful as we can. And you can't do that hiding behind, the computer or hiding behind the website,
Yeah.
right? You got
Yeah.
to be out there in the community making, networking.
I feel
and
like that
doing
was a
things.
dig at what I do because
Not at all.
I work behind a computer.
No, and I
and
love
websites.
it. That's why I'm here, brother. We're helping each
Yeah.
other out. Everybody's
Um,
helping everybody. I
So
love it.
where did the name Southern Sun come from?
My brother.
Yeah.
My brother.
D-Rock.
Yep, D-Rock.
Yeah.
Yep. And you want to talk about my brother is one of the smartest people that I know. Obviously on paper and just
He's an impressive human.
he's a very
and he's
impressive human
unassuming. What's so brilliant about your brother Derek, and I'm going to shine on him a little bit, is
As you
he's
should.
unassumingly sharp, and that's an ignorance on my behalf because you look at him. I mean, I watched this dude go down a water inflatable at your last party in his jeans.
Yeah,
and you
absolutely. Oh,
look
yeah.
at him and you would think he's different.
No.
And he's-
Little do you know he's got a
he just,
PhD.
he's got a PhD and he just
Yep.
doesn't he is unaffected by the things that would affect most people, but he's super sharp. I love talking to him. I love your whole family. Even your sister's fucking on. Your whole
Yep.
family's rad, dude.
We
They're
try,
just a
buddy.
good
We try.
bunch, dude. They're a good bunch. All right, so your brother says Southern Sun.
Yeah, so we're just bullshitting ideas and coming up with different things, and we're trying to figure out something that works for not only where we live, but if we wanted to branch out. We didn't want to just say, hey, Pasco, Pinellas, Hillsboro, Hernando, right?
Right.
We wanted something that was a broad spectrum. Yeah. in
You
case
do
we-
know it's Pinellas, right?
It's Pinellas.
No, say Pin
Penn.
Ellis.
It sounds like a
Pinellas.
disease. It's Pinellas, no?
You say it is Pinellas.
Oh, sweet Lord. We're going to have to...
Pinellas.
Pinellas.
No, it's not Pinellas. It's not a pine tree with some Ellis on it.
I'm
It's
pretty sure
Pinellas.
it's because they had pine trees down there.
Maybe, but that's not how you say
that
it. Yo, that's not how you say it. And it's not Italian.
Oh, you bet your ass it's
Swear
Italian.
to Christ, it's not Italian. It's not Italian. It's Italian. Your wife's Italian. Come on.
She is. Her whole
blasphemy.
family's Italian. Yeah.
Italian.
That's what I said.
Get out of here, Mitchell. All right, so your brother names it.
Yep, Southern Sun. We go with it.
So what were some early mistakes, starting a business? Well, you're in a good position because you'd already been doing it. You
Correct.
already run it for your brother-in-law.
Right.
So starting off wasn't too big of a jump.
No, the biggest thing was learning the business side of it, right? Because I'd already learned the work side of it. You know what I mean? So I already knew how to overcome obstacles in the field. The tricky part, and God bless my wife for this, right? She is very smart, right? She's well educated, got her degree, all that good stuff. So
She finished school.
right, absolutely, right. So
She took more than one class
right.
and finished it. Yeah.
right. So there's hope out there, fellas. So what she brought to the table, was the knowledge of learning how to do all the books and the behind the scenes stuff that I'm not really that great at. I'm great at I'm a personable kind of guy, so I want to be face
You're
to
the
face.
talent.
I want to yeah, right.
You're the talent.
Shoot. No, I want to be the guy talking to you, explaining to you what's going on, and living up to the expectations that you have.
With your
right?
shirt off. You
Listen.
want to be making the tips with the old ladies.
Listen, I'll
Can
do
you
what it
share some of
takes.
the? Are you not allowed to share those stories?
I can share whatever I want.
I mean, it's your business.
Yeah, no, I've gotten tips from
But I'd
people.
like it to be my business.
Listen, I've
Spill
gotten
it to-
numerous requests for, for a shirtless pool care,
Yeah?
if you will, and I've taken a couple of them just
Dude,
because
wild.
I guess
Yeah, why the fuck not? Yeah, it's not cheating.
it's lunch money. It's lunch
Yeah,
money.
the things guys will do for lunch. Listen, I've done things for less than lunch. I would say that maybe 20-ish years ago, I'm trying to remember where I saw it. There was an ad for topless cleaning service, and these chicks would show up and just clean your house and dust and stuff with
topless cleaning service.
Topless.
That's
I
got
wanna
to be
see-
a California thing.
No, it was here in Florida,
No
dude.
kidding.
It was a real thing. Or maybe they weren't topless. Maybe they were just like risque. Maybe it was like,
A little lingerie, a little
yeah, a little
something
bit,
or other.
yeah, a
going on,
little,
sure.
a little bit of flavor.
Interesting.
But no,
You're gonna charge top dollar for that, no
yeah,
question.
maybe. But I'm gonna see if I can find it. But anyway, so that's funny. What is so you start this business? Mary helps you on the businessy side. That was the hardest
Of course,
hurdle.
we're a team.
Right, you're a team. She's doing a lot of the books. You're the talent. She's the brains. We get it.
That's absolutely
yeah,
correct.
that's usually how it works in most marriages.
Yep.
Our marriages, rather. With the exception of mine, Pam is very talented and very smart.
Absolutely. she is.
So I get the double
Don't
threat
forget,
here.
beautiful. Don't
Of
forget
course,
that.
man, that comes with that. That's part
Come
of
on now.
That's part of the talent. In Florida, dude, there's hundreds and hundreds of pools. When I was living in Southern California, you were definitely rich if you had a pool, but there wasn't that. I don't remember there being as many as in Florida. Maybe there was. I just don't remember that.
Listen, it's
And
hot, right?
Yeah, it's
hot.
super hot. And so my question is that like, what if people can pick any pool company? Why pick Southern Sun?
It's a more personable experience, right? Here's the
Yeah,
problem.
but what does that mean?
It means that we're going to show up when we say we're going to show up. We're going to do the job that we say we're going to do. And what I've found in a lot of businesses, and I don't like to throw shade at other businesses. I won't name any businesses, anything like that, because everybody has their own stuff, own things going on. If you show up, and this is what I've learned in doing this, it's as simple as showing up and doing the job that you say you're going to do. If you can do that, you're going to be ahead of 90% of the companies out there. And it's the truth. You have so much opportunity out there because we do live in Florida and there is, thousands and thousands of pools. Even these companies that have 500-600 pools, that's not scratching the surface of the opportunity that's out there, right? So what you got to do is you just got to make sure you got the basics down. That's showing up and doing the job that is required of you, that you say you're going to do. And it's amazing to me that that's a hard thing to find. You know what I mean? It's incredible.
It's a hard thing to find anywhere.
Right. In anything, and especially in home services in Florida, any home services, whether you're an inspector, pool guy, lawn guy, if you just show up and do the job, people are going to think you're amazing because there's so many people out there that don't. It's wild to me, right? It's incredible that that's not as standard And that just shows, I like to think that it shows our character, that we as a company, and individuals, that we show up and we do the job that we say we're going to do.
Yeah, integrity.
It's as
Yeah.
simple. It's as simple as that, and it's mind boggling that a lot of people don't have that mentality to it.
You're not wrong, man. I think that the good news there is the bar is so low for everybody. Pick that anybody can literally pick any industry you want to go into. Show up, have a good attitude, do the job you said you were going to do.
It's as simple as that.
What seemingly happens is a lot of people bitch and complain, say yes to the job. I hear this all the time, especially in like in like the production world. Is there's a lot of freelance contractors types,
Sure.
where they'll take the job because it's feast or famine. When you're freelancing, it's like you're either busy as fuck and you're turning down jobs, or you can't get a job to save your life.
Sure.
And so I've seen it in both of these where it's like people. Well, obviously, when things are good, people don't usually complain. But when things are down, people are taking these jobs maybe at a reduced rate, or maybe it's like in a position that they don't want to do, and they just are, they just shit talk it the whole time. Point being is the point that you were making was like, no, show up, have a great attitude, do the job you say you're going to do, and people will never forget you.
It's what you do for a
which
living,
is
right?
how all this came to be for me personally, right? So, I'm just agreeing
fantastic.
with you.
It's absolutely fantastic.
So hit me. So biggest misconception about owning your own pool company? Because one of them for us is that you're done by 2. And
Biggest
and
misconception.
you don't work that hard.
The biggest misconception about doing pools would be that everybody can do it. There's classes and things that you take to make sure that what you're doing is safe, and that you're doing it to the best of your ability. There's a lot of people that say, hey, I can do this myself.
Sure.
Case in point, absolutely, people can do it themselves. What they don't realize is that the downside of that is when something goes wrong, it's one hell of a task to get it right again.
Sure.
Does that make sense? And that's why we show up every single
because
week.
chemistry.
It's chemistry. It's
not just water in a big ass pool.
Correct. I mean,
especially in Florida.
Right. I mean, in theory, it's a hole in the ground with water in it, right? So you need to make sure that it's squared away.
Well, in theory and in actually, Mitch.
Yes, I guess you're right about that. Yeah, that's why I own a pool business, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's theoretical and actual.
Yeah. So yeah. So you dig a hole in the ground, you throw a bunch of water in there. You got to make sure it's squared away. And there's also the biggest misconception is that people think they can do it because because you know how to do it doesn't mean they're going to do it, and it doesn't mean that they're going to do it to the required levels that it needs to be done. That's why we show up every single week.
Yeah. So I mean, in the age of YouTube and ChatGPT and AI and Googling things and like, a lot of people in Florida own homes. Why hire anybody to do it? Why not just do it yourself?
The biggest thing, like I said, is if something goes wrong, you're going to spend a lot of money fixing it. And I don't know if it overcomes the amount of money you spend on the monthly basis just to make sure that it doesn't happen.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
And a lot of people don't have the time.
Sure. It's a time thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's like all service-based stuff. It's like I could do it. I could have built the fence at my house. I hired a company to do it because I've seen your fence that you built. Pam says stuff like that. Well, why don't you just call somebody's over and build it? 2 points. One, I don't like inconveniencing people.
Okay.
Long gone are the days of, hey, help me move and I'll buy you pizza and beer.
Sure.
That's how I feel. At 43.
It comes with age, too,
It
right?
comes with age.
Yep.
It's like, nah, dude. And so it comes with age. I don't like inconveniencing people. Sure, we could pocket the money and save the money and use it for something infinitely more better, retirement, college, something Pam wants, whatever, right? Vacation.
It also comes with something greater than that, and that's the time kids.
Time.
Right.
That 95% of the decisions I make, especially owning a service, because I'm in a service-based industry too, is time. How much time? And that's also why I started my own shit, was like, I can spend 50, 60 plus hours of time a week right?
Yep.
Making somebody else a bunch of money, or I can work a comfortable 40, 45 hours, and sometimes 50, but a comfortable, I choose. It's my time. I make those decisions. It's very different.
It's a great feeling.
It hits differently, Mitch, when it's like, yo, yeah, I'll go to bat for these. I'll go be above and beyond. And I to your point about doing a great job, it's like, that's why this, praise God, this has been so successful, not just the marketing industry, but the podcast is going really good, is because of a lot of the principles that you said. I say exactly what I say I'm going to do. I do exactly what I say I'm going to do.
Yep.
I show up on time, sometimes, or even more so, I show up crazy early. Like I was here an hour ago, right? Or an hour before we started. And I'm not a pain in the ass about it. Like, I like what I do. I'm happy to do it. And the fourth thing, I go above and beyond. I under-promise. I over-deliver all the time.
Sure.
And I think all of those things, like, I don't run ads for, even though I work in advertising, I don't run ads for myself. It's all referral-based. It is. It's all referral-based. And I do that for multiple reasons. Is one, I don't want to have employees. I don't want to be overwhelmingly busy. I don't need a fulfilling dollars. So, like, I'm not money motivated that way.
Right.
I have a nut that I need to crack every single month, and that's fine by me. If I make some extra, that's fine by me. But as long as I make that nut, I'm fine. I don't need more.
So
We don't need more.
that's a great point you brought up. So there's different motivational factors for different people, right? And I think this is part of the reason why I wanted to do this. There are so many factors and so many reasons that people have for not only starting their own business but living the way they do, right?
Sure.
For me, it was simple. I wanted to manage my time for my money, and especially when the kids came, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to
Keep going. I can hear
Yeah,
you.
no, you're good. So I wanted to set up a industry, get into a business where I could best manage that time for my money, right? And that's why you see the joking around about having the cigars and whiskey at certain time of day or whatever, you know what I mean? And could we crank it up a notch? Sure, and we just might when the time's right.
Yeah.
But right now we're kind of living in what we worked for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're on vacation. Like, what's up with all these vacations
Well,
twice a month?
my wife,
You guys
once
are
again,
running drugs,
once
aren't you?
again, my wife is excellent at making long-term decisions, right? I can't see past tomorrow. I am full tilt into what I'm doing, right?
You're a day-by-day
I
kind
am
of guy.
a day-by-day kind of guy. I do the best I can when I wake up in the morning, right?
Today's the day.
She is so good at understanding what we're trying to do, and it's a team. We have since day one, freaking almost 20 years ago next month, by the way.
Congratulations, dude.
Yeah,
Holy
it's wild,
shit.
isn't it? Yeah, isn't that wild?
Again, high school sweethearts.
It's insane.
So when you count the 20 years of since you've
I
been
just started
together.
dating, yeah,
Okay,
since
got it.
been together, yeah.
So you've
Yep.
been married though. How long?
Since 2017.
All right, don't make me do
So
math. Yeah, so I am totally in awe of that. Congratulations.
Thank
Because
you.
again, I said this earlier. It's like high school sweethearts. I never drank after that. Cheers. Hold on.
you better.
That's bad juju.
Stipulation, yeah, you
That's
can't
bad
do that.
juju.
And that's part of the reason. Why do you think we're where we're at? I couldn't do this by myself. That's for darn sure.
Oh hell no!
No
Behind
way.
every
No,
man
and I
is a
know
woman.
it. No, I know it.
Telling him,
There's no way.
telling him to slow down.
slow
Slow
down.
down,
Hey,
you're in the
that
wrong
might-
lane.
Yeah, that might
Hey,
not be
next
the
turn's coming up. You're spending too much money.
Exactly. Well, she also tell me when to send it too,
Yeah,
right? She
yeah,
told me
for
you,
sure.
you need to go full tilt on
Yeah,
this,
punch
right?
it. Yeah, punch it, Chewy.
Yep.
Yeah. Where would we be?
There's not a decision that I don't make that she doesn't have a say in it.
I wonder if there's any men in business that aren't motivated by women. They may not say it out loud, but like money or women. What's the bigger motivator, you think?
Family.
Not for you, Mitch. We already did.
In general,
I'm saying in
gonna
the
say
grand
if-
scheme.
If
What do
you
you
have
think?
a good woman behind you, you're gonna make all the money you need.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. That's my own personal opinion.
Uh-huh.
Right? She's
Yeah.
gonna send you down the right path. You know what I mean? She'll stop you when you're going down the wrong one.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's simple, man.
You're not wrong. I support that. Let's talk about real quick. I'm gonna pivot.
Yeah, go for it.
You went to school. We mentioned it's chemistry, doing pool stuff, right?
Yep,
Like
yep.
you went training,
Right.
not
It's
school.
a
Certification.
certification that
Sure. You
that
did it online or what?
Well, you don't necessarily need, but it definitely puts you a step above.
But you took
everybody
it-
else. Correct.
And you passed it.
Absolutely.
You passed it the first time.
Yeah. I mean, I passed the police academy, so I mean,
Right, but-
everything after that's pretty.
Sure, but you did take that class twice.
I did take that class twice
in college.
Yeah, you're right.
My question, the reason why I'm asking is that there was, let's set the record straight. My kids, this was like, a few months ago. All our kids, we get together to swim at your house.
Mhm.
The kids go in your pool.
Yes,
Next day, their skin's burning hot.
correct.
What happened?
pH was off. It's as simple as that.
So help me understand that. So pH, alkalinity, drift. I looked up words.
Sure.
Combined chloramines.
Chloramines? That's
Yeah.
that smell that you
After
get.
a heavy swimmer load. No, dude, the smell. Mark, you know who Mark Rober is?
So, no, I
The
do
chlorine
not.
smell is because somebody peed in the chlorine.
So there's a couple of different things.
No,
So-
he's a scientist.
Okay.
He's my kid's generation, Bill Nye, and he did a controlled study
Sure.
on chlorine water, same exact volumes in a 5-gallon bucket. Pee in one, no pee in the other. The one that had no pee in it couldn't smell chlorine.
Interesting.
The one that he poured pee in, 100% had that summer.
I'm pretty sure
that summer chlorine's piss smell.
the chloramines are a byproduct of pH, but that's okay.
Which maybe
We'll
there's pH
we'll
and
go
piss.
off that guy. Yeah,
Okay, maybe
absolutely.
it's pH or alkalinity.
Do you know what pH stands for?
No, I don't.
Probability of hydrogen in the water.
Okay, and
Isn't
this is
interesting?
bad.
No, it just needs to be regulated,
Okay,
right?
regulated. So sunscreen, the type of sunscreen that people wear.
Sunscreen,
affects-
period. Everything, any organic thing or anything really will affect the water. Where you live affects the water. The type of finish you have will affect the water. I mean, there's so many different factors, and it's amazing because we get so many different types of pools and different things like that. So you have to learn. Each pool is different. Each account is different. So you have to kind of learn what each one needs.
That pool.
Yeah, you do.
It's not a one size fits all.
It's
Like I'm gonna
not.
add this dose or
Correct.
that much
It's
shock
not-
or whatever.
When it rains, there could be acidic rain, non-acidic rain, things, all that stuff. How the bather load's a huge deal.
What's a bather load?
Bather load's how many people are swimming in the pool. You know what I mean? You have a party, you have a crazy party.
Bather load is what they call that.
Bather load, yeah.
Yeah.
Bather
So
load.
I would have imagined that.
It's a
meant
little wild,
something else.
right? Hey,
Wow,
there you
just
go.
Bather
A
load.
little behind the scenes
Us.
pool footage.
All right, so okay, so how many people are going to be swimming in the pool? All that jazz.
All that affects
and you need to know this before or after.
No, you treat it knowing, yeah, well, a lot of times when you get new accounts and stuff like that, you have to learn the pools, you have to learn the people. It's not just a
And you ask people, is this a questionnaire? What's your bather load?
no. I'll say, do you guys have a lot of people in your pool? Do you have a party? Are you having a
You
party?
guys have a
this week?
fucking orgy
If
in
you're,
here?
if
or
you're
what?
having
Yeah.
a party, we might crank the stuff, everything up a little
Yeah,
bit, right, to
turn
make
it
sure
up.
you guys are squared away.
Yeah, yeah.
you can't, you got to be make sure the pool's sanitized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because people use. I'm one of them, I think.
oh my goodness.
If I know I'm going swimming the next day, I won't shower. But you're saying no, shower, dude. You gotta want to shower before you get in this pool.
yeah,
yes?
get all that crap off you. You know what I
want
mean?
all
Yeah,
of it.
throughout the day. I mean, you don't have to by any means, but it just affects how things work in the chemistry of the pool.
You go to a lot of hotels. What's when you ever see in like the jacuzzis where there's that we call it the dickachino.
The
Why is there
dickachino.
why is there foam on top of the jacuzzi? Like what is all that foam bubbly stuff on top of the jacuzzi? It's like
So a lot of that's too. It's just like air getting into the water too. They aerate the heck out of it too. So
Yeah.
you're just gonna see a bunch of crap. Just whatever's in there is just gonna be aerated and just send into the pool, right?
Okay.
It's a lot of it's like for looks too. And if you ever notice like the returns on them, they're all just a bunch of air bubbles going in there, which a lot of people love.
no,
that.
what I'm talking about is there's legit like a foam, like as if it's like a bubble bath. There's usually like a foam on the top of not. I always say usually. I mean sometimes I've seen it.
And sometimes
usually
you
at
haven't
like
seen it
apartment
from the heat.
Usually at apartment pools, like but they probably aren't treated well
So
or
all-
whatever.
so this is interesting. So spas and hot tubs are treated differently than a regular pool. right?
Because of the temperature of the water.
Because of the temperature of the water, right? So it's
Well, and volume.
it's
And semen
similar.
content.
It's similar in the sense of like circulation and stuff like that.
Sure.
But you're gonna have like crazy amount of aeration. You're gonna have a crazy 104-degree temperature in that thing. So you need to use different chemicals to treat the spas and the hot tubs a little bit different than you would a pool. You know what I mean? So all that good stuff. What do you got going on? What the heck is happening?
I'm
over
throwing
there?
the dog treats.
Oh,
Just to
jeez.
keep her
Well, you better keep her happy.
keep her acting like a spaz. Sometimes she'll come over to you just for pets. She's a glutton for pets.
I'll
but she's
listen.
she's laying down.
I'm a
right now.
dog
It's good.
guy. I'll
No,
definitely.
I'm me
no
too.
question.
I love her, man. I
Oh,
bring
my
her.
goodness.
She's a good pet.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so on that point, then, if you mentioned you have a question, you try to get to know the account. Is it just you? Is it just you and your wife? Do you have 5 kids that have friends over
Yeah,
every
is it a
weekend.
salt pool? Is it chlorine
Okay,
pool?
so
Two
what's up?
different
So
types of-
what's up with the salt pool, man? Why are these good?
Salt pools are great in the sense that it's less maintenance as long as nothing goes wrong, right? So that's the truth.
What could go wrong with the salt pool?
There's just more equipment involved, right? A salt cell, generator. You have flow switches. You have your board. So basically, all the difference is obviously there's salt in the pool, and what that does is it basically electrifies it enough to connect the chlorine particles to the salt, and it helps keep the chlorine in the pool longer. Does that make
Versus
sense?
evaporating.
Right, versus a standard chlorine pool, which is your evaporation, water. Now, obviously, that stuff still applies, but there's just a different way of treating it. You might need to add some salt to the pool, as opposed to a chlorine pool.
Do you use less chlorine in a
You
salt
don't
pool?
use, so you still need chlorine in your pool to sanitize and disinfect the pool. So that's a great point. There's a misconception of just because you have a salt pool doesn't mean that there's not chlorine in the pool. There certainly is, because you need that agent in there to sanitize and disinfect the pool, right? The difference is
The salt doesn't do that.
correct. The salt does not do that. All it does is it holds the chlorine particles in the pool. So it holds that chlorine in the pool longer.
But people talk about like your skin's softer, you don't have as much of the chlorine smell. or whatever.
Everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's gonna react differently. Some people have different skin than others, right? So you're gonna have different feelings about it. Some people swear that it makes your skin feel softer. Some people swear that they can float easier in the pool. You know what I mean? It all depends on the type of person that is swimming in the pool. You know what I mean? But there are two different ways to keep the chlorine in the pool. And that's one of them, and it's a great thing. It just uses a little bit different equipment to keep the chlorine in the pool.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
More expensive.
When things break.
Yeah. So talk to me about what's advice for any pool owner that has kids? Should they rinse off before they go to the pool? Should they rinse off when they get out? What would you say is like a hey dude, hey Floridians, do this every time before your pool or after?
I would say showering all the junk off of you before you're getting into the pool would definitely help. But at the same time, if you're putting sunscreen on, stuff like that before you get in the pool, that makes a difference too, right? So,
Sure.
Showering before you get into the pool is probably a good idea. Not necessary, because, like I said, the chemicals are in there to combat that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not really that important, but it would help.
Sure.
Screens are a big deal, right? There's a completely different cost to
like
a screened in lanai than an open air
bugs,
pool.
frogs, yeah.
Or just organic matter getting into the pool,
Yeah.
right? If you're on the water, you're going to be a little bit more costly. If you're in the middle of a swamp, you're going to be a little bit more costly. You know what I mean? And everything's based off of these 10,000 gallon pools that are screened in neighborhoods. That's going to be your base.
Is that the average pool is 10,000 gallons?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Is
everything
that per code or why?
No, everything is based. So all your chemical readings, all of your dosages are all based off of 10,000 gallons, which is your standard pool.
Right.
Right.
So are all the pools you treat are 10,000?
No. That's what you're basing your chemical readings off of.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Right. So give me frame of reference. Chase's pool is a what?
10,000 gallon pool. 10,000 gallon salt pool.
Okay.
Open air salt pool.
Versus your one at your house is
So I wouldn't even take mine on as
not
a
even-
right. So we
you
have
should probably take yours on as a
Right,
client and
so-
treat your fucking pool. dude.
right. No, we're getting rid of that thing. That thing's toast. Well, I
So
wouldn't take
what do
mine.
they call those? Doughboys? We used to call them doughboys back
No,
in the day.
they're just
It's just
some
an above ground pool.
inflatable,
Yeah,
yeah,
and-
something,
yeah.
some garbage. Yeah, we're gonna put some chickens there. But anyways,
How does a guy that owns a pool company not have a legit pool?
same reason that long guys don't cut their grass as much as they do when they go out and
Yeah.
service other customers,
For
right?
sure. Yeah, but they still have grass.
They sure do.
Yeah. All right, so I got some
That's
other
a
stuff
funny-
for you. All
that's
right,
a
so we
funny
talked about
point.
salt pool. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Um,
you're welcome.
yeah, I appreciate that. I'm going for it. When I first met you, I think you had two. Mary had a car, and you had at least 2 trucks in your driveway.
Right.
I assume they were both functioning.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
But we were in Pasco County.
we would like
so
them to be
I
functioning.
didn't. None of
but-
them were on like cinder blocks or anything, but I assume that both of them were running. My question is this: okay, so since then, and I've known you for quite some time now, is that you have a truck and then the next time we get together, you may or may not have that truck. You might have another truck,
Sure.
right? And this has been a pattern of behavior for years. Okay.
Okay.
It's not.
Start calling you Mary here in a
It's
minute.
not a judgment. I'm just no. My name's Justin. No, it's not a judgment. I'm just trying to understand. So like what? And now you have this. I'm surprised it's not a Jeep Patriot because you definitely give off Patriot
Oh,
vibes.
wow.
You give off some Patriot vibes, but
Interesting. I am a patriot.
Yeah,
That's for
you give
damn
off Patriot
sure.
vibes. But you right now you're driving the Jeep. What's it called? I wrote it down.
The Gladiator.
The Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said you
Yeah.
seem more like a Jeep Patriot. type.
Yeah.
So let's start with the first part. What's up with all these trucks? I feel like you like adopt trucks until you find a forever home for them.
So this goes back to I enjoy trying to get the best out of something that's not quite the best, right?
Sure.
So I enjoy trying to bring something up to its full potential, which means I like buying something that might not be that great and
Getting her great. And
getting
then
her great
sending-
again. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
sending that beauty out into
Yeah.
the world.
Now I will
That sounds
say
like
this:
bullshit, man.
the older I get, and the older the kids get, and that's why I just bought this Gladiator. Well, a couple of the other truck broke, but in the pool industry, you'll find out that the chemicals will absolutely wreck any vehicle that you have. I mean, it's part of the nature of the game.
It's all corrosive.
It is terribly corrosive,
Materials, yeah.
right? It's terribly corrosive.
yeah.
So, so you can do, a couple things. You just accept that and do the best you can to try to manage that. Or you can, get a trailer, right? It's a lot easier to replace a trailer than it is in a vehicle every year, right?
Yeah, but people with like boats and stuff, they just rinse their shit off as soon as you're
Right,
done with the thing.
Right, absolutely. And a lot of people do. Part of the problem is even rinsing the stuff off during the workday. Like your equipment's getting dumped into the pools that are, filled with all these chemicals and stuff, and then you're still having to put them in the truck, right? So you're still getting
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you just rinse off your truck.
Right, but that
you're saying doesn't
right.
change from
the
point to point
damage
to
that's
point.
being done.
It's happening.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
It
And
just
it's just
slows the process.
It's just a matter of time,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So
I didn't really realize that. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah. So what I decided is I've had a lot of full size trucks.
Yeah, you have.
I love my
We've
I
noticed,
love my
Mitch.
trucks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
There's all purpose. You know what I mean? And
Feels like it's one purpose.
it should be. Yeah, it
Mitch's
could be.
purpose.
But what I will say is the older I get and the more the kids are around, I don't want my weekends filled up with just fixing crap all the time. You know what I mean?
Sure. You
So
want something that fucking starts
That's
every
why.
time.
That's
and
why I
works
pulled the
every time.
trigger and I got myself something that was going to be. I can't with the amount of work I have. I can't really have downtime. You know what I mean? That's kind of a big deal.
Bullshit. What are all these pictures at 3 p.m.? Don't talk to me about
That's
no
because
downtime.
I've done, and you can ask anybody in the industry. You're going to work as hard as you want to for as long as you can, right?
When does your day start?
My day starts about 7:00 every morning.
Like you're on location you're on job 1. 7
I am
a.m.
at the distributor filling up by 7:00.
7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're on job 1 at what, 8?
No, 7:15, 7:20.
Oh, okay, got it.
I'm neck deep. As soon as I wake up, I'm full tilt.
Got it.
I'm go. And a lot of guys aren't like that. They'll take their time.
Ease into her, but not
I don't.
you.
No, I've never worked that way in
just
my life.
Punch it right in the
I
fanny.
send it all day long until I can't send it no more. Right. And
So how many? So okay. So how many jobs you do an hour? An hour a job?
No. So there's different service levels. We haven't talked about that. So
Sure.
there's different service levels that customers pay different prices for, right?
Of course, yeah.
So I have 3 different service levels that I offer, and then throughout the day, what I'll try to do is based on location and service levels, I'll try to make my routes, right? So I'll manage my routes as best as we can. We don't want to have 25 full routes throughout the day. You'll never get done, right? So you want to try to balance the workload in
a
the
week,
day,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, and yeah, so you spread it over the week.
Right. So what we do is we try to be as efficient as we possibly can. In any service industry, right? You got fuel and you got your time and you got the amount of counts you can do, right? And there's
Right.
only so much you can do, right? And there's limitations on all that, right? It's easy to say that I'm going to have as many accounts as I possibly can per day and just work 9 to 5, right? That is going to get very hard to do, specifically during the summertime.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
There's not a lot of people that can do that for that amount of time.
Yeah, but in Florida, man, summertime's the time because come winter, your service drops what, half? Like, no, I'm not saying your accounts drop by half, just like the amount of pools you have to service. Yeah.
No, we
You-
service all year round. The difference is the cost to us. In any service industry in Florida, most, I'm not going to, I'm going to generalize it. I've heard this many times from many different older generation guys is you make your money during the winter and you earn it during the summer. And that I've never heard a more true statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your costs are incredibly more during the summertime than they are during the winter. Now, that doesn't mean that you do any less of the work during the wintertime. That just means that your costs are making up the difference for the summertime. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. My service is not that way because
Right.
summertime, because everybody's like either traveling, kids are out of school. Sure, businesses still run, but a lot of business owners, small, medium-sized business owners, take some time off. People are traveling, so if they have a physical place, like people are out of town, whatever. So
Sure.
typically, what I've seen is that like summertime, as far as a consumer standpoint, for my industry, marketing seemingly goes down. Now every industry's different, right?
Yep.
So I have some clients that have a tangible good and they're busy all year long, and I have other clients that have like a physical like like Chase and Kayla are a perfect example. You have to physically go in there. Well, they're actually not a perfect example because theirs is on a timetable too. Their clients have a timetable,
Well,
right?
yeah, about 9
10 month,
months.
yeah,
Yeah.
10-month timetable. So they're not a good example. So I'll
Right.
use somebody else. Oh, okay. So I have a client of mine. They have an app. It's like a driving app. It's like a safe driving app where it locks your phone. It's pretty much for parents, for teens, to where teens can't text. It's a great
While they're
fucking app.
driving. Okay.
While
makes
they're
sense.
driving. Yeah.
Sure.
GPS still works, music still works, whatever, but the rest of the phone shuts off, and then for the parent, they can see where they are, how fast they're traveling, are they trying to disable the app, are they fucking off, whatever.
Sure.
Right? So it's a little bit Big Brother-ish,
Great
but
idea. Big Brothers for the parents, though.
but for the parents,
wrong with that.
for sure. But anyway, so okay, so they're a perfect example. So summertime, right? Kids aren't driving. You would think they're driving a lot more. They're really not. A lot of them are on vacation. A lot of them are doing this.
Yeah,
So
going
like
places
this-
with the family.
Going to places with the family. Maybe they're home for the summer, so they're not like, maybe they're driving a little bit, but they're not day-to-day grinding. And so we saw sales dip heavily. My point is not, I totally hijacked what you're saying, is that, what you do in the summer, you earn it in the summer, but the winter pays for it. I fucked up what you said.
That's exactly what
That's
I'm
it?
saying.
Okay.
You earn your money during the summer, and you make it during the wintertime.
Make it during the winter.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I wish more people understood that, because a lot of people will say, hey, well, I don't really need you during the summertime. We'll be like, okay, I understand that. You're not wrong. It's not that you don't need it. You still need the service. It's just not as heavy, right? Because you're not using the pool as much. The colder weather helps
Sure.
out with things, right? But the difference is, if I'm not making up the revenue from the summertime on the wintertime, then you're probably not a good fit for a pool service
Sure.
company, right?
Sure.
And a lot of people, same thing with lawns, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It holds true, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
maybe next year when you do come back on, I'm probably gonna have to crank that rate up quite a bit
Sure.
to cover the difference.
Or if I stop service and you have an issue and you restart service in the summertime, it's going to cost you 2, 3, 4x, because now I have to undo an
Correct.
entire 3, 4, 5, whatever the months
And
are.
things can go wrong during the winter
A
time.
lot can go wrong. You can
Absolutely.
have a bunch of, yeah, exactly. Especially if they're not rinsing their filters, if they're not self-maintaining.
Self-maintaining
in
pools.
some
You're
capacity.
absolutely correct.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there's a cost associated. You got to remember, any service industry, nobody's doing this as a hobby, right? Everybody's
Yeah.
doing this to make a living for their family, right? And what you're doing is you're basically saying that I'm going to use you for the most expensive parts of the year, and then I'm going to drop you off, and you're never going to be able to recover that, the financial burden of that
Right.
during the winter. And it's tough. And a lot of people, you're not going to get service. You remember, like, networking is huge, right?
Huge.
A lot of
Biggest.
guys know each other, and a lot of companies know each other. So if you get yourself on that list, right, it's going to be tough for you. And
I mean, list of like undesirable companies to work with, like the naughty list.
like we're going to call it the naughty list of customers, because you remember
Okay.
it's a two-way street, right? There's a gazillion
Sure.
companies out there, but there's also a gazillion customers, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not
There's
a fit,
two
or
gazillion,
if you get on the, word spreads quick, just like word spreads to get work, word spreads that you
Right.
might not be the best customer in the world, So
Yeah.
it goes both ways.
I hear you. Before we switch over, actually, I had a question for you.
Let's hear it.
About. I'm gonna pivot. Oh no, wait. So
What in the world did you just bust out?
no, this is like we'll talk about this.
Okay.
Right now it's you,
Right now it's me.
just you,
That's it.
and you do how many accounts a day?
25.
You do 25 pulls a day, and you're done by 3.
I'm done whenever the last account's finished.
I say 3-ish.
Half your day is, we're going to call it basic and brushing pools, or half your day is chems only pools. You get done a lot quicker than if your entire day is full service pools,
brushing,
right?
treating,
So there's a difference. So when I'm sending you guys, you got to be able to set your business up to fulfill whatever. The greatest part about owning your own business is you have complete say and control over every aspect of it, whether it be how you set the day up, how many customers you have on that day, what time you get started, all those good things. Now, if you're going to be successful, you got to be willing to put in the work,
Right.
not necessarily the time. There's two different things, right? So, and when you have an established business and you have your base of your business that is going to be there, right?
Mhm.
It kind of makes it a little bit easier to I don't know what the word I'm trying to think of is. It's easier to get into a groove, right? If you know that every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I know I'm going to have this specific accounts. It's easy to kind of bet on what your day looks like. Now, there's things that are going to pop up, right, every once in a while.
Mhm.
But if the whole day goes smooth, then you're, and you do the work the best of your ability, and you happen to finish at a decent time, then so be it. You finish at a decent time, and that's what you're working for. Does that make sense? I don't really know if I said that right.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. I think that like when you're on your own, you mentioned efficiencies earlier. You have to be incredibly efficient.
You have to learn how to be efficient, right?
You can't dick around.
You have to absolutely learn how to be efficient and how to manage your route structures for your fuel and your time, and which what makes sense in the day, right? And your geography of where your stuff's at. I have days where I drive 30 miles. I have days where I drive 80 miles. You know what I mean?
Do you use like an app to map that out? Or
There's software.
Oh, you have
Yeah,
software
which
for it.
is and that's what people don't realize either. There's software costs are built into the pricing too, right? So there's
Sure.
software costs, there's QuickBook costs, there's chemical costs. Only the chemicals are only part of it.
Yeah.
There's so many different, and we're getting squeezed and squeezed and squeezed tighter each year. And you try to do your best to not just crank everybody's rates up, because
Sure.
that's you try to do things the right way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
well, we do anyways. And it's very difficult when these companies and just the world, the economy, everything is just squeezing you a little tighter and tighter and tighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just got to manage it the best you can.
Yeah. So in your industry, what's the biggest, other than people not showing up and stuff, like your competitors, and not throwing shade, just being factual, like what's happening out there? Are your competitors jacking rates up? Are your competitors not showing up? Are they using third parties to do the job? They're not doing the job well. What's going on out there
So
in those streets, in those pool streets,
the nitty
Mitch?
gritty of the
What's the
pool
dirt?
industry. I'm gonna say the nitty gritty of it is there's a lot of good companies out there that will not undervalue your service, but there are a lot of companies out there, and it's just part of the deal, that will underbid your services, and it's tough because you try to maintain a level of doing right by the customer, right? But a lot of times the customer's just looking for the cheapest option, and I don't blame them for it.
Yeah, no, dude, we're all on the
Not
same
even,
boat, man.
not even a little bit. So the trickiest part, what's going on out there, is you have customers that you'll be servicing for a long time, and you'll get these newer companies coming in that don't understand the rates or why the rates are the way they are, and they'll underbid your accounts. And like I said, and I don't blame the customers for it, because if they could get a cheaper rate, so be it.
Yeah, but my industry is riddled with that.
It's tough.
Every industry is riddled with
Yeah.
poaching or like underbidding or overbidding or whatever,
Right.
whatever the
Right.
gig may be, because some people, these people are trying to eat, right? I think though, going back to something you said earlier, Mitch, is that sure, you get what you pay for though.
You get what you pay for. 100%
So
true.
if you want to chop it down, listen, no, as a human to human, I understand sometimes you got to tighten your belt, you got to make some decisions. What usually happens on the marketing end is marketing, as odd as it is usually the first place they like to cut budget from. But what they don't realize is marketing is what's bringing business in. And
Yeah.
so, in my experience, what I find with the companies that I have that have either reduced services or canceled them completely is that 2 months, 3 months, 6 months or whatever, hey, it's like that weird booty call. It's like, hey, I was wrong.
We screwed up.
Babe, I'm so sorry. And it's like, yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
But, and I welcome you back with open arms. But because sometimes you got to let people kind of, despite guidance and, giving them, the best advice. Hey, I don't recommend this, or I do recommend that. People are going to do what people are going to do, and businesses are going to make decisions that sometimes help, sometimes they hurt, and that's just, part of it. But
It goes back to what I said earlier. You don't know what you don't know, right?
sure, yeah, well, sure, yeah, you don't know what you don't know, but I don't know shit about pools, and so if I hire Mitch, and Southern Sun pool care, I just like Southern Sun. I'm just going to call it Southern Sun.
That's
Is
fine.
that cool? It's too much. It's 4 words. It's Southern Sun pool care.
Yes.
It's hard to say.
Well, you got to put what you do at the end of it.
Do you?
It's debatable.
Ah,
Blame my brother,
No,
Mr.
I won't blame him.
PhD.
Yeah, whatever. He's too smart.
We call him Dr. Dingaling.
Yeah, Doctor paging Dr. Dingling.
That's right.
Yeah, some people got to walk. You were saying some people got to walk through their own fire. Sure. The best thing that I think we can do as business owners is just with grace, guide people and consult. And ultimately, they're going to do what they're going to do, Mitch.
Yeah.
And you just got to love them no matter what. Hey,
Yeah,
man,
you're absolutely right.
don't wish anybody harm. I'm going to rapid fire some questions at you.
Let's
Ready?
hear it.
It's rapid fire.
Send it.
I was told to ask you about your first driver's license photo.
Eddie Fight, you will know where that's at. He's the last known holder of that photo.
So tell me about it.
So I used to rock a mullet back in the day. It was glorious. It
Sure.
was became a nickname for me, right? In high school, I was the only one with it.
What was your nickname?
Mullet.
Oh, well, it's
Nickname was
clever.
Mullet.
That's all you guys got in Pasco County.
That was
just
it.
stuck with
Listen,
Mo? It wasn't
we just go by hairstyles. You know what I mean?
yeah, it wasn't like
You
chicken
know?
fucker. Or,
Yeah, no, Baldy, he was fine. No
Yeah.
big deal. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, first license picture was Mullet.
Why does he have it?
So Eddie has it because the last known location for that photo was misplaced in Dade City. And we're not sure where it went or why it went where
It sounds like
went.
someone stole it. And it
It
sounds
could
like
be.
it was Eddie.
it was misplaced by
Sure.
individuals that'll go unnamed.
Mhm.
But so Eddie has the last known photo of that. So
Wait, so let me back this up and try to read between the lines. Dade City, your first driver's license, so you're 16, 17-ish years old.
the photo,
The photo is.
the photo, not the actual. Right.
Oh, so the event went down in your 20s.
Correct.
Okay, so you're in your 20s. Somebody stole or you lost.
It is no longer with me at the time.
Okay, so it went missing.
Correct.
Okay, and then somebody found it.
Nope.
Somebody knew who took it
Correct.
and got it back.
No.
Never got it back.
Never got it back. There was just one photo taken of it because it was so glorious and epic that
So who
it needed
took
to
the
be
photo? Was it
needed-
Eddie?
No,
Somebody else took the photo.
that is correct.
And
Along with all my other belongings.
and posted it. Then how do we have the photo?
Because Eddie took a picture of it before it was misplaced.
Oh, I got it.
So it's a picture of the document. As they say.
Understood. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so you had a mullet. They used to call you mullet. When did they stop calling you mullet? When
Some
you cut
people
the
still
mullet?
do.
Yeah, they still call you
Some-
mullet.
Yep. Yep.
I had a mullet.
Did you?
Yeah, but I had like the Lethal Weapon stylish Mel Gibson.
Oh, mine was epic, my man. It was the Kentucky waterfall through and through. And then one day, the missus said, "You know what? I wonder what you would look like without it." And that was enough for me. And it was gone. The boys are still pissed about it.
Not all of us, boys. I'm fine with you not having a mullet. All right. The other thing I was told, rapid fire, injury Hall of Fame. You ready? I heard some stories.
Oh, man.
There was a screw through your tooth.
That's correct.
How did that happen?
Ran through a garage on a piece of plastic that my wife left in the garage, and I hit the corner of the workbench, which had a screw sticking out of it. That's still, well, I can't even talk about it. That still hurts.
Which tooth?
That'd be the back corner.
It went through your cheek?
I literally was like, ah, and I fell down. It fucking ran right into my jawbone, broke my tooth in half. I don't want to talk. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that was rough.
Drilling into your bicep.
Yeah, still got that right here. We got that right there.
So how's that happen?
That would be because I was putting a light bar on my truck, one of many, and it slipped, and I drilled in
Truck
my arm.
upgrades.
Yep, truck
So, hold on,
upgrades.
so-
They'll get you.
Don't go slip. You're putting a light thing up.
Light bars going on the truck. You got to put some screws in there, right, or some bolts.
Uh-huh.
So I'm drilling through. Slips, the drill bit slips, and right into the old bicep. That was a good time. Yeah, that was actually that one
Mitchell.
didn't hurt
Mitchell
as.
Smith.
Listen, you gotta have thick skin around here.
Yeah.
Right?
Heard a story about you jacking your finger up big time with a chainsaw that wasn't
Yes.
running.
I was.
Show it to the
It's-
camera.
here
This is
you
your
go.
camera over here.
Here you go. We got a little scar running down the front
Not a
of the
little.
finger.
That's like, yeah.
So don't drink and try to sharpen your chainsaw at the same time. That's all I'll say. Do not
Just
do
for
that.
those who didn't know that this was a bad idea.
Yes. So
Okay.
you don't sharpen your chain on your chainsaw. You'll end up running your finger down the blade and down to the bone. And then I call my brother, and Dr. Dingling, he comes out and super glues it back together for me. So it's good now. We're
You're
fine.
good.
Yeah, trigger finger works just fine.
Does it? And any feeling loss?
No, but I did run a miter saw through the same finger on the tip. There's a little feeling loss in that, but you do things you're prone. You get injured sometimes, right? You just gotta
happens.
slow it down.
Happens.
You gotta be careful.
I had bought I know you were talking shit about my everyday carry blade not being sharp
you need
enough.
a Benchmade, my man.
We'll see. Anyways, I'm fine with the one I got. I was trying to, you know how kids' toys are wrapped with like zip ties, like 1,000 of them
it's so
unnecessarily.
annoying.
It is
Yes.
super annoying. So on a birthday party, I had a couple of few at a kid's birthday party,
As you
as you
should.
do
It's how you
at
get
your
through the
kid's
party.
And so I was opening a gift, and I just popped out my knife, and I was just popping them. Again, cut your buddy,
Yeah.
not your body. Right?
Absolutely.
So I'm popping it this way.
Yep, you gotta go out.
Dude, it slipped and went bink, and like it was a brand new knife. I think I had it for like maybe the weekend,
Oh, okay.
and so it was such a clean cut. And so I felt it and saw it cut, and it just put back together
Fold it back
nicely.
together, paper cut.
But no, and then just the amount of blood was amazing.
just starts pumping out of that
And
sucker.
so I just looked at my brother-in-law and I was like, dude, I just totally cut the shit out of my finger. And I looked down, and as soon as I took my hand off of it, like I'd opened it up and it was just like, and I was like, oh, and I was like, just grabbed a bunch of, like, we were in the office of our house. So I ran over to like the bath, in the bathroom that's right there, and just like paper toweled it. Those were red instantly. And I
Yeah.
was just like, I found some Scotch tape, tied it up with Scotch tape. I went and got proper paper towels, the quicker picker up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wrapped it with that, taped it with some
Quality matters. You got to make sure it's
taped
sealed
it with
up.
some duct tape, and then went into clean mode so Pam didn't ask too many questions.
Oh, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it was a
You
good.
can't leave
yeah.
blood on the floor. That's for sure.
All right, so rapid fire question.
Yeah.
Worst pool you've ever rescued?
Oh my goodness! I pull over in Golden Acres, first pool we ever had that was green, and it was unovercomable. The environment in there was horrible. Sand, kids, toys. Every time we show up, it was just an absolute mess. Massive pool, just wrecked. We ended up canceling the customer because of the pool. It was very green, just junk in it. So bad that you couldn't even drop your equipment in it because you couldn't see what you were getting. You know what I mean? You end up breaking your equipment.
So why not just empty the pool?
So a lot of times, so especially if you're on the water, draining and filling pools can be pretty tricky because they can actually pop out of the ground. I don't know if we talked about
Oh,
that.
no. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
So there's a specific insurance that you need. Case in point, when the hurricanes came through, you can't just not have water in your pool because that weight is pushing against the ocean water that's underneath there. If you're on the water, there is water table pushing up on that. So there's a very specific way that you need to clean these pools, and if you
Yeah.
don't do it right, there's so much pressure. Imagine when you push a ball into a pool.
Yeah, like
Think-
a floaty ball.
A
Yeah,
floaty ball. Think about how much pressure that is just popping out of there.
Sure.
Now imagine that with 10,000 gallons.
Right.
All the weight of the golf is pushing up on the bottom of that pool. Not only does it pop that pool, it'll crack your foundation, blow your windows. I mean, it can get nasty.
Get
You know,
out. I had
it's
no
wild.
idea.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
wild.
That's wild.
It's wild. So you got to be real careful when draining them things. You literally have to go with the tides. It's incredible. People don't realize that.
Only if you're on the coast or
Oh,
just any pool?
No, if you're closer, the water table's super high. It's something you have to worry about for
Yeah.
sure. It's crazy.
Get out.
I know all these pool emergencies. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's wild.
get out.
Yeah.
Get
What
out.
I was gonna say is, any advice I have for business, business model, running a business, starting a business, anything like that. I was gonna say I talked to the missus about this. And she loved the idea and I think I sent it to you is fail fast. Find out all the things that doesn't work for your company, whatever it may be, and find them out as fast as possible. So that way, on the flip side, you know what works, you stick with what works, and you just rock and roll down the road. That way, it doesn't come up again in the future. And remember the things that didn't work in the position that you're in, and just just get rid of them. So
Sure.
goals are different for everybody. My goal is money versus the time, right? My goal right now, and that's not everybody's goal, and everybody might not agree with me, but my goal right now is not to make as much money as I possibly can. My goal is to make enough money to where my wife can stay home and my kids are influenced by my wife and my family, right? Down the road, in a year or two, we're going to pull the trigger and we'll rock and roll with this thing, and then maybe we'll crank up the monetary value of it, right?
Yeah, and you're saying that your goals can change. That's totally fine.
Your goals can change.
And they should change.
And they should. They absolutely should. You should never reach your ceiling, or else what's the point, right?
Right.
Don't reach your ceiling. What you want to do is you want to find a goal that works for you right now, get to that goal, and appreciate and stick with the fact that you look back and you say, I made it here. Because if you just keep cranking forward, and you don't have I'm not going to say a end in sight, but I'll say if you don't strategically set goals for yourself that are appropriate, you're just going to be chasing whatever it is you're chasing down the line, right?
Listen, man, I hear you. And that's good. Well said. Well said. So listen to this camera. This is your camera right here. If people want to find out about you, Mitch, and your service area, where's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can find us on our Facebook page at Southern Sun Pool Care, or you can email us at southernsunpoolcare@gmail.com. We service anywhere from Brooksville to the Trinity area.
Yeah. So if your pool, needs some of that sweet Southern loving, make sure you hit up Mitch. And thanks for watching.